No worries, mate. Just load her in the back of the Hilux, would you?
Just trying to visualise. Go with me on this one. G'day and welcome to another episode of Flip My Ride. Recently you would have seen me do a solid axle rebuild, reconditioning and rebuilding the solid front axle on this old girl. Part of that process is rebuilding and fixing the front brakes. The calipers themselves were pretty much shot. So in today's episode you're going to see me pull them down, clean them and whatever, and do a full rebuild. So let's go to the videotape, sit back, relax, and we'll see you later.
Yeah, mate, she'll take about a ton. Yeah, mate, look at that. She's a tough old girl. Don't make them like that anymore.
In reconditioning these or servicing them, one of the biggest problems is that the rubber seals go. Now I've already done this, I should show you this. There's 4 pistons, 4-piston caliper, okay. Each piston has a rubber seal that sits over it and has a steel clip that holds it in, okay. So that quite simply sits over the piston, and then that snaps on over the top and protects. It's a dust seal, dust coat. Now the best thing I could have done would be to leave these on. I didn't realise I could do this because of the particular style of brake pad, but I could have slid the pads out while it was still on the car, and using the hydraulic pressure from the brake fluid I could have pushed, and that would have forced the pistons most of the way out. And I haven't done that, so the other way we're going to do is we want to loosen these and then we want to split it and pull it all apart because they'll be rusty inside. We're going to leave the bleed nipple in for now, and we're going to force some air into here and try and get the pistons to move. So we'll do that first, and then we'll clean them once they're out. We'll separate this actually, we'll pull the whole caliper apart and just give it a basic thorough service, and we're going to reuse and reinstall the rubbers. There's nothing wrong with them at this stage. There's no splits or anything. So we'll put them back on, we'll lube them up as well, just to get a bit of elasticity back in them. So let's start on trying to move these pistons. Well, I'll try. Let me try my Maltese. Oh, shit. Oh, I've got movement. Ever so fractional. Oh. Here we go. Okay. This one is the one that's loose, I believe. Yep. That one's nice and loose. Okay, I can't seem, I've put a little bit of my goo in there. That sounds a bit wrong, doesn't it? I can't seem to, I've got 3 of the 4 loose, so let's see if we can pop them out and then put them back in again. So one's come out, there we go. Okay, shot out. So what I'm going to do is clean that and put it back in. So that I can pop another one out. Oh, shit! Plan B. We're going to pull apart the caliper, 4 bolts, and fix it that way. Pull it out, pull it out. 2, 3, one more. So I've got it in the vise here, but I'm trying not to vise down on where the two sides meet, otherwise I'm stuffed. Alright, so you can see at a glance in there, it's just that hole. Makes me wonder about the seals, but anyway, we'll sand all that up nice and clean. Let's try and get this mongrel out. I'm going to let this one soak for a while. Fingers crossed we get somewhere down the track. I'm going to give these all a clean. So we might even, so we need to get the rubbers out of this. There's tiny, there's rubber around the inner ring here. Carefully pull that out. Another one on this side. Okay, so it's just mainly this upper ring here to the rubber. I want to give that a bit of a tidy up. Let's see. Good. Same on this side. Cool, cool, cool. Now we'll run some sandpaper. Okay, look at that. Hey, pistons. Right, this other bloody piston comes out, guys and girls. Alright, this one, this bloody bugger. It's taken about an hour. I used my secret recipe again. I've butchered this a little bit, but we have get somewhere. Come on, nearly there. Ha! Yeah, look, absolutely. All right, now I can continue. That was a bloody effort. The old Stilson's about the only thing, because it locks on itself. I was able to get some movement and then slowly but surely wiggle it out. As I said, I've damaged this lip here, this bit here, but that's not a problem because that's not what slides in and out of the tube, I guess, the bore. So we'll clean that up. We'll clean all this up. I'll paint them and then we'll reinstall them. All right, let's back it up a little bit. I did say earlier in the video that I was going to use the existing seals and rubbers and the pistons from the calipers, but turns out that in my process of removing the pistons and cleaning up the insides of the calipers here, I have damaged the rubber seals that go inside here. So chances are they could leak now, so I'm not going to take that risk. I don't want to do things more than I'll have to, like I've already done on the front axle, so getting rid of those. And I've gone and bought myself a rebuild kit, a full rebuild kit, rubbers and pistons for the front calipers on the Hilux. We've done a quick paint job with proper caliper paint. I've already cleaned the inside out, you would have seen that earlier. So let's go about opening this box and rebuilding this caliper, and then I'll have to redo the one that's on the truck again. Third time I've pulled that on and off, but you know how I do things. I've got to make sure I learn properly. So let's get into it. So there's our pistons. This isn't a genuine kit, but it's a reasonably good quality aftermarket model. Okay, so this will be our seals. Yep, let's check these pistons are the same size. That looks spot on to me. It's already open. Oh, look at that, nice and shiny. We've got a different lip on top. So here's our nice new rubbers. We've just got to get that into the little O-ring sleeve in here. If you can see that. There is a hole there I've shown you before. So let's try and insert that. Alright, so we've got those rubbers in. You see them there or not? Still inside on both sides. Now we've got to install our pistons. A little bit of high temp sort of lube, grease, anti-seize the brakes here. So I might put a little bit inside as well. It'll just help me get these pistons down. Look at that. Beautiful. Whoop. That went in all the way. That part is done. Now we have to put our snap rings and rubbers on. Little rebate. You can see it here, it's hidden now by the rubber. And it sits nice and tight on the bottom here. And put a snap ring over the top. Rubber seals are on all the way down. Fed into the lip around the top of the piston. We've also got it sitting on the bottom of the bore here, base of the caliper there where the piston sits. It's got to be nice and tight and flush on that, and then we take these little metal rings like a spring. Sometimes you have to use a couple of old screwdrivers. I'm just going to put in the joined piece. We've got a little piece on there. I'll put that in first, right down on it, and then I'm going to pull it back towards the other side here. That's it. So simple as that. And then we just check we've seated it down correctly, gently. That's better. So nice and flush, not up and down. Pistons are in, calipers are painted. So now we've got to screw the two pieces together, but I've got to put these little O-rings on. So I don't want them falling out while I screw it together, so I'm just going to put a little bit of grease on there and there. Just so they'll sit. Now, we've got a rebated side and a flush side. Set the little O-ring rubbers in the rebated side there's a little rib on it, a little ridge. The ribbed or ridge side faces up on both of them. Let's get it clean, like this. So ultimately this is the front side of the piston, the brake caliper I believe, yeah. So they sit in there. That's your seal for where your brake hydraulic line is, or your hydraulic fluid will flow. Then we are going to fold it over and screw them together with these four. So make sure that these two faces are dead clean, because they form your seal. I will screw those down a bit more, then rattle them up. Grease these up. Pull out my pads, my new brake pads. More rubbish. And then we get ready to install. Oh bugger, I've got to go down more. Shit, a brick. I'm not happy about that, Jan. Okay. New pads I've got these holes on the back here, that's where these rods run through, like that, through the back of the brake here. So we need to put one there. Actually, this one, I believe. So we need that one there, and that one there, and then we're going to drive this pin through. First one, and come on. There we go, that's the top. Right, so you can see we've got our pads in. So to prevent these pins falling out, we've got to put this little pre-tensioned wire with 2 holes on each side. We've got 2 holes here. See if I can zoom that in actually. So we've got to hook in under this little hole here. Like so. And then through the last hole up here on this pin. Okay, here we go. A little bit of fidgeting. Hole in underneath, hook here to keep it in place from falling out, and then here. So that keeps these pins stable, see? Now we've got to put this little funky, where'd it go? There it is. This funky little bit in. I need to actually slide this pin through this thing. So you can see it's got the loops here. So the pin's got to go through those 2 loops. Pad up. Right, so see we've gone through the loops, back out to here again. Try and get that aligned for this back portion. So this back in. Okay, so that's back on. Now this has to go like, I'm pretty sure that goes in there. That's all together now, so we've got bars that run through the pads, these pins. We've got the spring that holds the pads apart here like this. It's got to be these 2 little loops here on the wire sit over the pad. We run the bar through the loops at the bottom of this bit of wire. This should be angled back towards you. Now that should slide onto the caliper. Well, there you go, peoples. We have one fully rebuilt, well, it'll be 2 in a minute, fully rebuilt brake calipers, new pistons, O-rings, rubbers, seals, and all that kind of stuff. Not very hard. A lot of information online on how to do this, as well as my fantastic video. But these are very common, been around on Toyota since the 70s, so plenty of resources to help you if you want to do it at home. That's what helped me. If you like what you have seen in any of my episodes, the content I provide, please consider subscribing. I hate asking, but I will. And yeah, share it. Share the hell out of stuff, because, or share the shit out of it, as I say, because that's what's going to help expand the channel. Thank you to the support and your regular comments out there as well. We have hit about 766 subscribers, depending on time of day. It does change. It goes up and down a little bit lately. And nearly 4,000 hours of viewing. So thank you to everyone out there who's been involved and watched and supported. So yeah, I'm going to head off and put these on, and we'll catch you next time on Flip My Ride. Ciao. Visualize it, Adam. Visualize it. It will come to you. I like driving in my car. I've done that before, haven't I? Look, I'm locked in. Oh shit, it won't open.